Greetings. Welcome to another edition of Business in Motion, a program that focuses on business and entrepreneurship from an Afro-centered perspective right here on WMEG Radio, Baltimore, Maryland, the #1 station in the nation with the dissemination of valuable information with no hesitation or reservation, but a dedication and an obligation to the elevation of your present situation. I'm your host, RGL Biz Coach.
The all-new WMEG Radio.
And welcome back, listening audience. WMEG, again, you're listening to Business in Motion, a program that focuses on business and entrepreneurship from an African-American perspective. And we have with us the great Mr. Jimmy King. He's on the air. You still there, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Very good, very good. And so I just want to continue from where we kind of left off. You're saying Sunday from 3 o'clock to 5:30, you've got this fashion show combination sales is going to be going on, and the people can pick it up on Facebook Live. It's going to be a Facebook Live. With that being stated, is this something new that you have incorporated into your marketing and sales as a result of COVID-19?
Yeah. Doing Facebook, Instagram, and Zoom live sales really kept us afloat. And without COVID, the idea may not have popped up. But my beautiful wife was the one that gingered me to go ahead and make sure I did. I was hesitant initially, but she kept pushing us. Hey, you gotta keep some income coming in. So I did the first one. It was a hit. It was really good. I was smiling all the way to the bank. So I said, wait a minute. Hey, okay, sweetie, you were right. Let me try it again. And we kept doing it, and we kept improving it, because I used to think that the clothes, somebody has to sell the clothes.
Okay.
While I do the production.
Right.
Yeah, I do that, but then I find that people also want to hear from the person that's making the clothes they're wearing, because it's one of a kind. It's a piece of art, and it's like eye candy to me. When I look at what I made, even if nobody tells me, when I look at what comes through me, I give thanks to God. That, oh God, thank you. I love this. Because I pray, I kind of do a meditation before I do my work. Mm-hmm. I have studios. I've got a studio, 2 studios in Atlanta and 1 in Lagos. Uh-huh. But when I wake up, I bless the studios and the people that are working, joining me, helping me out to produce the creative pieces. So, and then I end up doing the last part of it. Even if I do some of the textiles in Nigeria, mm-hmm. like started off with wax or with starch or other mediums. When it arrives wherever I want it to go, like come here or go to London, mm-hmm. I end up finishing it up with my own inspired techniques. Like I do layer dyeing on what has already been done. So sometimes you get 3 to 4 to 5 different colors of dye, or different shades of the same color. Like if I'm working with green, I have to start with white. Most of the fabrics start with white anyway. I start with white or with yellow, and then I add some little bit of blue to the yellow, gives me green, like lime color. Yes. Then I go into olive green, or I go into leaf green, or I go into another shade of green. So you have an outfit that's got several shades of green on it. So it kind of helps when you want to decide the accessories you want to wear. So you can pick one, or you can pick, like we have a pen that's got 4 shades of green. You can pick the lime as a color for the top. Or You can put white on it and then use the lime color accessory to bring out the colors on the pen. So over the years, I've kind of grown to layer the dyes on the garment and make it more eye candy, make it easier to look at.
Wow.
So I work with colors. I work with a lot of colors, and I believe I've improved with inspiration from over the years because I bring the universe and nature into my work. So like I have some butterflies that come to visit when I'm dyeing fabrics at the back of the house.
Wow.
And so I kind of pick up the colors on the butterflies. And it's like the same, there's the monarch comes, and then there's a black butterfly that has some iridescent green or blues on it. So I kind of pick up on those colors and work with them.
That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. And, I see, you put lots of energy into this, into your whole process. And, you mentioned, about the fabrics and textiles. What type of fabrics do you typically use for your clothing?
Of late, I've been doing most of my pieces with linen.
Okay.
I find that, linen has the longevity. I work with cotton also, but more linen. There are different weights of linen that you can use for different things, for jackets and for pants, for coats. But I work with all kinds of fabric. I work with silk. I work with even polyester.
Okay.
I work with denim. I love working with denim because you can do things with denim. You can bleach it and dye it again. You can make it light. You can make it dark. You can cut it up and stitch it whichever way. So I try to work out of the box. I try not to be I have a few pieces for conservative people who want mainstream looking straight cut, but my pieces recently have been mainly out of the box. Things that you see and say, wow, that's really nice. That's for the discerning clients that don't want things that are common. But then I also do things that are, straight. I work with stretch fabrics more these days because they kind of embellish the female figure. Unlike, in those days, people love to wear boo-boos, wear things that are loose-fitting. But then these days, we find that even age does not determine the things that you wear. Especially with women. They wear fitted things, they wear loose-fitting things, but fitted. So if you're wearing something loose, you want something fitted to match it. So if you're wearing a loose top, you want some leggings or some straight leg pants to match it. So I do a lot of stretch dresses, stretch pants, stretch tops, just to make things look more asymmetric.
Got you. And now, okay, well, first of all, in terms of clothing gender, do you make most of your clothing specifically for male and female, or most of them kind of unisex, or how does that go?
I do a little bit of both. Most of my pieces are women because women butter my bread. So
okay, I can understand.
So I go with women first, and without women, we won't be here anyway. So
right.
So I just do women first, then men, then children.
Okay, so in that order.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Women. Okay, got you. Now, you go back. You said when you first came to the U.S., you actually, I'm trying to get it together. Did you say you were at City College in San Francisco?
Yes. I landed first in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Then I spent maybe 9 months, 6 months, then went to school in San Francisco, City College.
Okay, gotcha. And how long were you there?
I was there for 3 years.
And do you remember which years they were?
Oh, man. It was 77 to 80. And I left in 80.
Okay, so we overlapped.
I left for Nigeria.
I left San Francisco Bay Area in '87, and came here.
Okay.
So yeah, I wish I'd have known you back then. You know, yeah, absolutely.
No, but you were there through the '70s.
Yes, I was there a little over 9 years there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was taken there. I had family. I had lots of family who were there, but I was in the Air Force and happened to get out and decided to stay. You understand? And really loved it. So San Francisco there could be very stimulating. I can see how it could be an asset just being in that environment to your business.
Yes. I love San Francisco. I think it's the most beautiful city in the world that I've been to.
I would agree with that. If there's only one other city that might be more liberal, that would be if you go across the Bay Bridge and go to Berkeley. But it's smaller.
Berkeley. Berkeley, yeah.
That's a whole different, a whole different program. Okay, and we used to call it Berkeley, but very good. And so when you actually put, I'm trying to get some perspective as to how you put the business. You had very little money when you got here. You said like $100, and you were able to make some sales for some clothing later. You met Bawa, and he did some things with you and bought clothing, and then what's his name, Diamola? You mentioned, who I think said bought like $1,000 worth of clothing. But in getting your business started, what put Jimmy King on the map, what would you say the total cost of investment was for you to really get your business up and running?
Yeah, $100.
$100.
Yeah, because
all right.
I left Nigeria with $300.
Okay.
And stopped in London.
Mm-hmm.
And I had admission into the school before I left, but I couldn't pay the fee before I left. So I thought, let me go ahead and see what I can do. So my mom bought me a ticket, bought me a round trip ticket in case things didn't work. You could always come back home.
Okay.
But I never take no for an answer, and I never believe that it's not anything is impossible. Everything is possible. So when I went to London, I took a couple of friends of mine, girlfriend and a friend, to dinners and stuff. I was young. I was 18 years old.
Right.
So by the time I was ready to come to the States, I had $100 left. And my friends had been here. They were already schooling here. I was supposed to stay with one of them, but I lost my address book.
Okay.
So when I got to the airport, I didn't know where to go. But I had his address, but I thought the airport was in town where I could just walk or take a car. I landed at Dulles, and he lived in Washington D.C. That's like at that time it was like a $35 ride out of $100. So I was going to be left with 65. So the very first person I saw that was black, I approached him and told him, "Look, this is my situation. I need a ride into the city." He happened to be a Nigerian, and he was the chauffeur for the ambassador.
Oh, wow.
Of Nigeria. I was lucky.
Yes.
And he said he was picking up the ambassador's friend at the airport. That's why he came. And if the ambassador's friend didn't come, he would take me to town. So I was lucky the ambassador's friend didn't come. I rode in a limousine to town. He took me to the embassy. I said, "Hey," and introduced me to some people. And he told them my situation. He took me to his house and showed me his house and said, "I live in a one-bedroom and I have 3 children and I've got a wife. You can't stay here, so maybe I should just take you to a hotel." So he took me to a hotel. And the hotel was downtown D.C. and it was $40 out of 100. So that night I did a meditation and called on my ancestors to come help me out. In the morning, somebody knocked on my hotel room, knocked on the door, and said, "I heard you are. My name is Lawa. I heard you were at the embassy yesterday. I wasn't there. That you need a place to stay." I I said, yes. He said, you come stay with me.
And you said that was Bawa?
Beg your pardon?
You said Bawa?
No, it's just Lawal.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Lawal, yeah. So that kind of cemented my belief in spirituality, that there's a spirit, there's another force that's stronger, that if you call on, will be there with you, or is always there with you. If you need help, or if you need inspiration for anything, just call on the higher power. So it took me to his place. It was a studio apartment. The minute you open the door, you're right on the bed. So it was like, okay, why you sleep on the bed? I sleep on the floor, which is okay. So we did that for a while, and then I contacted the school, and there I went to San Francisco, and I got a job. So I was working and going to school at the same time. So I started driving a cab. So I sent myself to school. I paid my school fees driving a cab, sometimes sleeping in the cab during the exams time.
Right.
Slept in the cab and went, woke up in the morning, kept driving. But it was an experience. It kind of made me into who I am. That, nobody actually gets it like on a platter of gold. Even if you think they're getting on a platter of gold, there's something somewhere that they lack themselves. So I got a good dose of humility in my childhood, that you got to, every penny, everything that you got to work for it. Don't expect anything from anybody. And you can't hold grudges if you expect things from people and they don't do it. No, you can't, because they only have their own life to live. Nobody owes anybody anything. So, kind of built me into being more determined in life to be a success, or to make something good out of myself. And so I was deep into meditation and silence and deliberate thinking. And I think whatever Jimmy King is today is, I went through the grind. I paid the dues. And I'm happy for it. It's more than me. It's all a spiritual experience for me. Yeah. And I think wherever you are in life, this is my own belief. You must pull somebody up. You must help the younger people, because the younger people do not have the wisdom, the knowledge, and the experience, or the financial ability to rise up to their visions or their dreams. So older folks should be able to pull them along any which way you can.
Gotcha.
So maybe I'm being too I don't know the right word for it, but I think if you have talent, you must pass it on to some younger people.
No,
so that they will be helped along. I didn't have a mentor, but I enjoy speaking to young people, or trying to mentor them, or try to pass on some of the knowledge that I have to some younger people.
Well, I think that's a very noble thing, that you're doing. And obviously, you're going to benefit from those deeds. I want to ask you, in terms of your company and company goals, what's the vision for Jimmy King and your company?
Yeah, thank you for that question, because I'm working on a couple of things. I'm told not to count your eggs before they hatch.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way the creation is, you have to incubate.
Mm-hmm.
You must not divulge, because if you don't incubate, if you are not supposed to incubate, when a woman gets pregnant, she should have the baby immediately. But the universe doesn't make it that way. You have to go through like 6, 9, 10 months of pregnancy before you deliver. So I can only give like a surface view of what I have in mind.
Okay.
I will not divulge everything because
Sure.
I still have to incubate. In a nutshell, it's about what I've just said, that you need to help younger people. You need to, give them the hope and pass on some wisdom and knowledge to them so they can become better people than we are. I find that African children need more help than everybody else all over the world.
Okay.
Especially in STEAM and STEM education.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm being directed. That's where I've been directed of recent. I saw a school called here in Georgia, in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Barack Obama Elementary School of Technology.
You started
So I walked in. Beg your pardon?
You say you started it?
No. I saw it.
You saw it. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
In DeKalb County.
Mm-hmm.
So I went in and they said it was a STEM school. It's a Barack Obama Magnet School of Technology. So the meaning that they look for students who excel in sciences and they bring them to that school. Something like that needs to be. We need 10,000 of those kind of schools in Africa.
I agree with you.
Yeah, because that's the future. That's our future. Because other people think that Africans have no brain. Like black people, all we do is just dance and have sex and play music and entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the person that calculated the route of the Apollo 7 was a black woman.
Yes.
The person that invented penicillin is a black person.
Mm-hmm.
Light bulb, although Edison is claiming credit for it,
mm-hmm.
was invented by his assistant, who was a black person.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many other things like that we can. So we've been relegated to the background, whether we want to accept it or not. We are the mothers and fathers of everybody else that's living on earth now, but we've been pushed to the background for some reason or the other. But that's in the past. I think we need to start looking forward. We need to start planning ahead. Because China didn't get to where they are today if they didn't, Chairman Mao didn't plan ahead.
You got that right.
We've got now experiences. Those experiences have made us stronger. Should make us stronger. We made certain mistakes, like when African countries started to get their independence, and there was a meeting in Addis Ababa when they formed the OAU.
Mm-hmm.
Kwame Nkrumah was championing United Countries of Africa, African OAU, and Julius Nyerere said no, that the countries needed to be by themselves first before we unionize. Mm-hmm. I think that has been a pitfall.
A big mistake.
If we had a solid foundation from beginning of one nation, you can put Europe into Africa and India and all those other countries into Africa, and there'll still be some change left. There'll be some land left. They don't have as much land and mineral resources as we do, and the projection is that by the year 2050, Africa will be the most populous continent in the world. What are we doing to prepare for that time? Are we still going to wait for the Chinese to come and exploit the Chinese are busy taking a lot of lumber out of Africa every day. Container loads of lumber is leaving Africa. They're mining gold in the forest. They're mining cobalt. They're mining everything. They're taking things, lots and lots of things out of Africa every day, while the leaders are busy lining their pockets with chicken change.
I'm glad you see that, and you are articulating that on this program. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, before when I first came on today, I, was kind of giving a little more insight to a book and a program I have called Sankofa Business Alliance, Revolutionary Strategies for Black Economic Growth. And a lot of things you just spoke of are highlighted in my book. And, I'm glad you see the picture. We we have the same vision, when it comes to that and working with the children. And the thing that I do like is you seem to be a very spiritual person, and you're speaking of your ancestors and going back and paying homage to them and asking them for guidance and help. I found that to be very powerful things, and a lot of us kind of unaware of it, but we need to kind of return to it. And Mr. King, again, what I want you to do, time just goes by so quickly when you're having fun. But if you, first of all, I can't wait. I got to meet you. Whenever you come to town, if I can go to Atlanta or maybe even in Lagos, I don't care. I do want to get to meet you. Yes.
Thank you.
But give your information again for the listening audience. And I want to just tell everyone you need to be on Facebook Live or one of the Instagram or one of those live programs and catch this fashion show. You are going to be fascinated. So go ahead, Mr. King, and let them know again how they can reach you.
Thank you. The phone number is 678-488-7793. So it's 678-488-7793. That's my cell phone. And the shop number is 202-518-8305. 202-518-8305. But you can catch me on my phone. Is better than the shop because you're probably going to leave a message. The Facebook Live is Sunday the 18th. It's Facebook and Instagram Live. Sunday 18th of July, which is next Sunday.
Yes.
It's from 3 to 5:30 p.m. It's a mini fashion show with all kinds of colors and styles and men and women's pieces. The shop address is 1408 North Capitol Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. 1408 North Capitol Street, Northwest Washington, D.C.
Very good.
I hope you make time to visit us sometime.
I will be there. I will be looking at you live. I guarantee you that. And
Thank you.
That being stated, again, thank you for being on this program. I look forward to speaking with you. I might even give you a call sometimes later this evening just to speak personally with you. But again, thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Bless.
All right.
Bye.
And to our listening audience, again, we've come to the end of the road. And until next week, I will say the heaviest burden with the heaviest weight that anyone can ever carry is empty pockets. And with that being stated, adios. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time.